It's okay. You're fine. I'm heavily branded for you.
All right, talk when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. Am I talking first?
Yes, I believe you are.
My name is Gabrielle Gardner. From the time I was a little girl, I have seen and heard the dead. For years it terrified me, until I began to understand that they are people just like you and me. Most of the souls that I meet are looking for assistance. I had no idea why or how to help them, until I had a life-changing experience, as my guide showed me how to assist souls in the in-between. These are souls in the non-physical who have died, and not yet fully crossed over to the place of light and love. These souls have often experienced extreme pains and traumas, and still need to release the heavy energies that can carry over from a life. I am now dedicated to doing everything I can to help the souls I meet share their stories, and process and release their traumas. Once they have expressed what they wish to share, I then work with my guides to perform an ancient healing ceremony to honor these souls and help get them to where they are meant to be. Together with a small team of spirit workers and healers, we are determined to document spirit communication, honor these souls, help them share their stories, and carry out the sacred process of soul crossings.
And clap, please.
My favorite part.
We would have you do that even if it wasn't necessary.
It just makes me join a clap.
Alba, well, I'm sorry. Point at her, point at somebody, and clap, please. Oh no!
That was not a very loud clap. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce this episode first. So, hey everybody, we are so excited to share the first 2 episodes of the new series, Remarkable Spirit, The Crossings, with you. But first, we are doing a behind-the-scenes look at our first case together so that you can get to know our team a little bit better. You're going to see some behind-the-scenes footage, things that we couldn't fit into the 2 episodes, and we're just really excited to share this all with you. So today we're going to be watching some of the raw footage and the clips, and Melanie's seeing it for the first time, which is super exciting because she hasn't seen most of the evidence.
They won't let me read the script.
I'm not letting her read this outline of a script. Yeah, but so we'll just jump into the first one, and it is well, so I think that it became really clear really fast that adding the cameras to spirit work added this whole other level of complexity, and we were not prepared for that. And we also realized that stop trying to peek at the script. That we had no idea how to behave around cameras. So
That is very good.
and Melanie's like, what is this? So watch this.
Oh, hey, here I go. I don't know if I should be announcing them. I'm following you for a second because I'm going to put the recorder out. Sounds good. Ooh, there's stuff going on in here.
Coming.
See if maybe that corner. I shouldn't have left Sue hanging. What was that?
Why is he opening there?
Oh, 2 looking into the bathrooms that they were doing some activity in, and 1 looking into a bedroom that we already showed you.
Okay.
So
these are our static
Alva's going to be in here monitoring these. So if something happens and we don't see it, he'll be able to tell us what's happening.
Okay, that sounds good. And we'll put some devices in there so that
We'll put them in view of the cameras.
In view of the cameras. Okay, that sounds good. And then the other cameras we'll be using will be.
Master ghost hunter.
Obviously, adding the cameras in is very much a challenge to work with. You know, when we're trying to do serious, important things, you know. But
I think that was like, the episodes that you're gonna see are very serious, and like we're there to do some, you know, really important work, and we wanted to show that also it's not. You know, we try to keep things light. I think that's actually something that's really important when we're doing spirit work too, because it raises the vibration in the space where we are. Especially on ones like this where there's something kind of more negative and heavy and darker and maybe even oppressive. And so your energy was very much needed to keep it lighter.
definitely.
You're welcome for the jokes.
That's it.
Totally,
She did not say that. She
exactly
did not know we were going to
intentional.
do that. So I was like, is she going to be offended? I don't know.
I feel like
you'd
this
like to
should
be a
be
comedian.
on the camera. This is all I can see is this.
Just one big emotion.
I'm like,
It's because I typed the notes on my
what
phone.
are we gonna do? And my name is next to the
Just
Lapse
as
giant
you know,
laugh
with
emoji.
Let's segue into an actual piece of evidence.
Yes.
You can explain this one.
Okay, so in this one here, we were doing a communication session where I was out in the living room. And so this was we should actually say, this was a small apartment, 2 bedrooms with 2 bathrooms, and a kitchen with like a look-through window to a dining room combo living room. So it was very close. That's also why you see people go through the cameras, because there was no way to film without seeing a camera or another person. And so we had all gone very quiet, and we had a phone in the bedroom. And so you'll see footage where there's a phone in the bedroom and we're connected. We basically called the phone that was in the bedroom to do some spirit communication.
Can you please let us know your names?
Oh, there it was. See? The reason we're showing this for timing, this is like one of the ones that isn't in the episode. It's the timing of when she asked for them to come forward to talk on the phone.
But if you do this, if you could knock once for yes and twice for no.
That's kind of funny feedback.
Is there anybody in the bedroom right now? Knock once for yes and twice for no.
What was that sound? What was that sound? Was that on your phone?
The electronic.
Yeah. Was that on your phone?
I don't know what that was.
Okay, I just didn't. I couldn't even tell. But I mean, the phone feedback to me is it's coming at like a rate where it seems. I mean, I infer that it's like an intelligent response to your questions.
Mm-hmm.
We at this point did not realize how haunted that bedroom was.
No.
Because it was phenomenally haunted. We captured an incredible amount of evidence in there. And this was before it really started to pick up even, so this was kind of our first hint that we needed to focus in more on that space. But it was just, again, I don't think we did a communication session that did not have an answer or some sort of anomalous thing happen.
Yeah.
It was every single thing that we tried,
Mm-hmm.
something happened, which is, like, that doesn't happen anywhere. So this was crazy.
It was crazy.
Okay, so this clip is with me and Jim in the front bedroom. And we're doing a communication session where I'm just asking questions. We already are very much aware of like an energetic opening, a portal in that front bedroom. We've heard from a ton of souls in the non-physical who are coming through, and we think that they were there in such high concentrations and were so communicative because of the energy of this opening in this bedroom. And again, this is just a communication session we couldn't even fit in the 2 episodes. Because there was so much, so this is just bonus footage of our talking with them. Can you say how many people are in this room right now? Can you say the name of somebody who's in this apartment right now? It's so many names. It's like short. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so many names. And so, like, for sure the ones we can hear clearly in there are Jim, Jen, and Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick is somebody that we hear about all through the communication sessions at the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And other souls were telling us about Rick, as if he might be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
He was kind of who we were working on and working with during the cleansing process. But yeah, so that was just another kind of amazing moment, I think, where we asked the souls that were there to, help validate by telling us the names of people there, and sure enough, they said Jim and Jen is the tenant.
But then they also said names of people that
There were like,
we did not
I think
see.
seriously, if you listened and dug through, you would find like 15 plus names in there. They
for
just
sure.
all started saying their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one is where I think what we realized too, and part of why we were hearing so many names, is that they were stepping through for the, stop watching yourself on film, coming through for the crossing ceremony.
Yeah.
And so I think when we go into these locations with the intention that we have of doing this sacred soul healing ceremony, the spirits, the souls in a location are very open and receptive to that, and they come through in numbers, and they come through very clearly, and we just get an extraordinary amount of communication when we're there in a location with that intention of doing that ceremony. So Jen had told us about seeing a woman who seemed troubled in spirit in her apartment, and we weren't able really to reach her very clearly. Doing this sacred soul healing ceremony, the spirits, the souls in a location are very open and receptive to that, and they come through in numbers, and they come through very clearly, and we just get an extraordinary amount of communication when we're there in a location with that intention of doing that ceremony. So Jen had told us about seeing a woman who seemed troubled in spirit in her apartment, and we weren't able really to reach her very clearly. We're not quite sure why. She might have been kind of in a lower vibration state. But the other souls who were more present and speaking more clearly were coming through and telling us about her and asking us to assist her. Mm-hmm. And so that, again, just told us how complex and multi-layered this haunting, but this spirit scape at this location was. And that there were people with different levels of awareness and able to come through in different, different degrees of clarity.
And wanting to help each other.
Right. So this is a guy, a man in spirit, coming through and telling us about the woman that Jen had seen and telling us how we could help her and asking us to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us your name? Kind of sounded like a lady's voice coming through, for sure. What did you think you heard?
I couldn't make out a name, but it sounded disturbed.
I kind of thought it sounded like Heather.
Yeah, maybe it's Sarah.
Okay. Heather.
Can you say your name again, please? I know you're confused.
There's no audio.
How is there no
can't
audio?
with this program.
How is there no audio?
I love it so much.
Okay, hold
We'll
on.
just pause real quick. And I think that we should say, even in this clip review stuff that we're doing, we're having so many technical challenges. And so that is a whole part of this thing with this episode, this case in particular. We have had so many struggles on the tech side of getting our files lined up. Files have been lost, computers have crashed. It's just been bananas and insane. And Mom and Jim have been working like hours and days and weeks on this to put these episodes together. And it's been, at this point, we can't even doubt that there has been some sort of interference with getting this project done.
Well, the one that really capped it off for me is when we were trying to get back on to getting through something, and Jim had to pull something up off a file on a remote drive, and the directory was called Cursed.
Yes. Jim literally named one of the files he was working on Cursed because it was having so many problems.
So many problems.
That's crazy.
Please help her.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So,
And somebody else said Heather right after that. Right after you did.
yeah, what also is crazy about that one is like the way that this is working. The Jim's box is scanning through radio waves, so each of those little you hear is a different channel or a different radio hop, and so for 3 words to come together in a sentence like that is, I mean, that's just amazing that they're coming through in a way that they can stay consistent through changing channels.
Oh, wow.
There still is like such a charge and an imprint on this because, well, we don't know why, but there was kind of some darker, heavier energies and entities there. And what we got, I don't want to go too far into it, is that we were able to clear out the man-made stuff. So you'll hear about this in the 2 episodes, but there was a portion of the negative stuff that someone had invited in. But then there was this other whole section that was more ancient and on a much bigger scale, and it seemed to be quite heavy and large, and I'm avoiding the word, but demonic. And when we have some of that here and on film, which is a good segue into why in the opening of this show, that title sequence intro that you see, I was guided by Spirit to create a protective grid that is in that sequence, and it's placed at the front of every episode so that viewers aren't affected by any of the energy that we've encountered and that's on film. So it was intentionally created. You see it at the end. It's the last shot of the title sequence, I think.
It is, yeah.
And that is a protective grid that was created by Helpful Spirit to make sure that nobody viewing picks anything up.
Yeah.
So.
That being said, we're working with a ton of raw footage.
Yeah, we've been watching this for days
and going
weeks
through it. So it's definitely. But I agree. But bringing up the grid at the end of the title sequence is really important. That's that protective grid will be at the beginning of all of the programs. But
it sounds silly and woo woo and all of those things that people could be affected by watching.
This whole thing is silly and woo woo.
It is, but seeing how people can be affected by this stuff, which we have, is why we take the necessary steps and precautions to make sure that doesn't happen, because we're doing this to inform people of what we see, what we feel, what we experience, let them know that there's more to Spirit than what most people think of, and that, it's just...
Which is also why, we do protective prayers, rely on and communicate only through our guides. Our spirit guides. We make sure that we are surrounded and protected by Spirit, so that we're able to do things to, help out people that, have come into a space that is challenging, or hopefully have not created a space that is challenging, because people should not be messing around with that stuff. So, otherwise, that means you got something you have to deal with. So. Yeah, and just speaking of protective spirit, we found that here in an amazing way, where souls identified themselves and said that they were there protecting Jen in her home from the darker stuff that was in kind of sort of cordoned off to one space in the apartment, and that they were essentially putting up barriers for her, which is why she was able to be there, and kind of just had this feeling of like something's off, and then we got in there and we're like, it's real off. Yeah, real off. But so 3 protectors in Spirit and other just souls in the non-physical said that they were stepping up and protecting her, and it was really beautiful to hear. Right. Yeah. Speaking of which, we've got a clip here of of something, I believe, touching my hair. So let's take a look at this. Let's unmute it first.
This is another one that didn't make the cut, so it's not in the episode.
Right.
So. So it's like, I think my guys do like, nope,
Something just touched my hair.
I'm over here.
Is there a, yeah, is there a spirit in here that just touched my hair? I felt my hair move up here. Did somebody just touch my hair?
Hold on.
And,
So it's like, I think my guys do like, nope,
something just touched my hair.
see this?
Oh, and then that,
Look
yeah.
at this right
I
over
think
here.
that's what I see. I saw
Yeah.
it.
And then a bright one over here too.
Yeah, this looks like,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, see, there's one. See that? It's just so.
Wow. Okay, wait, do it again.
So it's like, I think my guys do like, nope,
Something just touched my hair.
I think that black one is so interesting.
Yeah.
It's like it reached around and touched you right there.
I felt my hair up here. Did somebody just touch
Just the
my hair?
white one. It's just like disturbance in the
That's
pixels and
trippy.
distortion. It's like the camera's trying to register and pick something up and can't quite get it on the IR.
Yeah.
That's
the
like you haven't seen it. We picked up a lot of stuff you can see.
Yeah.
So these are the ones
Yeah.
you can't really see. Like there's very clear orbs, very clear movement. Like these are the like we're like I don't know.
It's
This
sort
is-
of,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
as obvious. Okay.
This is one where I wish we had a SLS camera because I think you totally would have picked
It looks
a
like there
shape
was
up on
someone
that wall
there.
for sure.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna set
Is
this
this
one
the
up.
one where the thing went off and we were surprised?
No, this is not that one. When the Thurman went off. Yeah. The Thurman went off twice when we were doing stuff
Okay.
at this one. You're not gonna believe the footage from some of the other communication ones we did.
Okay, ready?
Hold on.
I'm ready.
Okay. Watch the table. Go ahead now.
I think it's something that doesn't.
All right. So, due west is actually in the kitchen, and it looks like there's a doorway.
Okay, I don't want to know too. One of the marbles just moved, and I don't know if I moved it, but like this marble.
The tablecloth got
Okay,
moved.
okay. Just like definitely moved right in front of my face. I was like,
Due west is actually in the kitchen.
okay. So
Okay.
upon evidence review, it most definitely was not the tablecloth, Jim,
Yeah.
because I saw it move, and so you got to zoom in on this. We'll be
I
way
know.
zoomed
I'm
in
gonna
when we
I'm
show
gonna
it.
zoom in on this one right here. Hold
And
on.
you're watching like the very unedited clips. But the marble you can see, so we're looking at motion activated marbles on the table. We had paused, we're just eating dinner, so we'd like pushed them off to the side.
Oh,
But
this
we'd
is
been-
when we were eating,
Yeah, we were eating dinner
like
here.
relaxy time.
Yeah,
But then
It looks-
we were.
It looks trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
we
looks like we're doing something.
no, we were just so we sat down for dinner, snacky dinner. But then they started to communicate with us, so, we were just starting to use the devices.
devices.
Okay.
But we'd been asking them to touch these motion sensor marbles all night long and hadn't seen them move or anything. And so then, of course, I can just picture, you know, that there's like someone in spirit like using all of their
Yeah.
energy to like move this marble. And then we're like, it was the tablecloth.
And they're probably like,
They're like,
what?
I just did what you told me.
Yeah.
Humans. Okay.
Because it's super unnatural the way it moves when you're watching it. It like it does a little boop boop and then it goes whoosh, and like moves around. Zoom way out. See, it moves a little. Moves a little.
What?
Oh my god,
I
it's
know,
so scary.
right?
That's so creepy.
I'm gonna enlarge.
What,
this.
so
moved a lot.
It moved a lot. So what's creepier is what comes through on the Jim's box as it's moving is the word demon.
Oh,
Like listen, and it says demon, and then the marble's moving.
Okay. I'm gonna let it
Watch the
play
way it
through.
moves though. It looks like something's like boop boop. Whoop.
It kind of has a little bit of movement before it goes around the circle.
Yeah, it like wiggles.
It's
Okay,
like
now
a
listen. Yeah.
See, it rolled. Oh my god.
we were talking about the direction.
That was what, yeah, we were trying to find where the opening was. Like I saw it.
I don't know if I moved it.
Yeah. I was like, did I move the table? Did I like bump something?
You can see there's nothing around.
No. Jim's like, it was the tablecloth. I'm like, no.
Did you think you
play
moved
again.
it with your mind?
No, like bump the table.
She wondered if she moved the table or something.
I think our segue for this is just the clips of the Jim's box saying demon and things being moved are creepy. So we're gonna lighten it and show some of what I thought Mom thought were the funniest clips of Jim and Alva. They also don't know that these are in this episode, so.
And Jim and Alva, tell them who Jim and Alva are.
Yeah, so Jim and Alva are amazing AV tech guys. They also are very spiritually in tune, even if Jim doesn't want to admit it. Alva is has off the charts wisdom and breadth of knowledge on all things spirity and woo-woo.
I'm just gonna take the opportunity to light some polish on down.
Melanie saw an object moved and needs to.
It's true.
Yeah, and
Something about a demon.
they do
I don't know.
production.
Yes, they do all the production. Jim does all of the video
High-res, all that stuff,
processing
video
and-
processing.
I mean, he has spent so much time on
Camera
this
crews.
stuff.
Yeah.
And he also is creating a lot of the devices that we are using to communicate with the souls.
That's why we
in
call it the
physical.
Jim's box.
Yeah, because he handmade and set up that radio to scan through that way, and it works so well. Thank you so much. And then he made the Thermin device, which you're going to see in the episode as well, and that is a proximity sensor that has been
Which we
incredibly
also,
useful.
side note, on another case that you're going to see later in the season, it was insane how
the Thermin's been
the
amazing.
Thermin worked with a young man. So, it was pretty crazy. Yeah.
But so yeah, this is a clip of Jim wrestling with a camera, and then Alva thinking that he can outrun the frame rate of a camera, which is my favorite thing
Okay.
ever.
Okay, let's watch.
Where's the thing?
Super heavy. Yeah, I stand here and I lose my balance. I get dizzy and I'm almost Again, could be some input on that, but I think that this is more of my own. So what I'm picking up is you have a path going around the table, which we said might be a bit of an opening, and then we head this way. So I don't have to do this like stealthy ninja mode.
I just love that he's doing all that right
I
behind
know, again,
us.
as we're doing these active filming shots.
I had no idea. I don't know about y'all.
I know. It's just.
I'm sure Jim might have been behind the camera
Stop. Stop it.
Well, you should have film of that from Alba's camera.
I don't know. It didn't. It wasn't.
It didn't look special.
It didn't. Yeah. Okay. I gotta figure out which one
that's
this
adorable.
is. Yeah.
So cute.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, this one's crazy.
Okay. Which is why she lit the Palo Santo.
Yeah, this is why you lit the Palo Santo. So we are now entering the clip land where we have had so many technical difficulties.
Oh, really?
You want camera 2, right?
Yeah, camera 2.
Okay.
I feel like I need to get the back of your head, actually.
Mine?
Well,
Gab.
both of us. Gab.
Yeah, do
Put this into
it.
the back of my head. My hair is long, I need a haircut. No. No, it's just spirity view. Okay, so now this clip is when we have finally figured out what they had been all the souls in the non-physical have been trying to tell us for 6 hours, which is that there was a spiritual, it was a hot spot in this closet in the kitchen.
Which we had not seen
Somehow.
for 6 hours.
Somehow
we never even opened the door. Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a noise over there. Did you hear that?
Stop it. We're going
There's
to
no
keep
noise.
it down. This is the most haunted footage ever. It just. So we finally opened this door. After 6 hours, we were just oh, there's a door here that we somehow had not noticed, even though this is a tiny, little apartment.
Oh, this is when we open the door.
We're opening the door, and Mom's at the dining room table doing the Jim's box, and you and I are walking in, Jim's behind us filming, and I had just reached in and grabbed that laundry hamper, and it felt like something had pulled the laundry hamper out of my hand, and that's what I'm telling Jim. But now listen, because I'm talking about the laundry hamper, the box. So, yeah, so I like touched this.
I'm not
I don't even know, and I like did this.
Okay.
And then,
I can't see what you're doing.
okay, well, I like
Can you
put my
please
hand
light
here.
up this
And it
EMF
felt like
meter
this
right
got
here so
ripped
I
on
know
my
that
hand
you
right
can
when I did it.
access it
And that was
right
at the
away.
same time you guys said something like reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold chills.
I don't think you are.
Yeah.
You did it though.
But did you hear it?
Did you hear the box?
Okay, so right after I say the box, another voice says the box. Like it sounds like a guy yelling, the box.
Yeah.
So just listen again. Yeah, so I like touched this. I don't even know, and I like did this. And then,
I can't see what you're doing.
okay, well I like put my hand here. And it felt like this got ripped on my hand right when I did it.
Oh.
And that was at the same time you guys said something like reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold chills back here.
Yeah.
I keep getting cold chills.
You hear that voice saying the box.
Is that
So what's
not a
weird?
human?
No.
No.
It sounds
It's not
like a
and
human.
What's weird about this is when we
It's really clear.
and that was at the same time you guys said something like reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold
Right. So what's weird about this is we thought that was a Jim's box answer when we first reviewed the footage, like it was coming from the camera in the dining room.
Mhm.
It's not coming from the Jim's box. It's coming from right by you and me on that camera. So like if we isolate the audio footage, you can't even hardly hear it out here, and it's very loud on this camera of us here.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear it at the time, which means it's like a fully disembodied, or it's a full EVP. Because we didn't hear it at the time, and that voice was only picked up on that camera.
It's like an echo, like you said the box and then the box gets said.
I think something was confirming, like, yeah, the box, you know. But it's crazy how clear and how loud it is. It sounds like a real, like, man in the apartment with us. And the only men there were Jim and Alva, and it's not their voice. Yeah, so I, like, touched this. I don't even know, and I, like, did this. And then,
I can't see what you're doing.
okay, well, I, like, put my hand here. And it felt like this got ripped on my hand right when I did it.
Oh.
And that was at the same time you guys said something like reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold chills back here.
Yeah.
Can you please light up this EMF meter right here so I know that you can access it where it is? Yeah. That was it. And so you can't even hardly hear it.
over here.
Yeah. And
So it's right by us. There was like, I mean, it's scary to think, but there was like someone behind us saying that in the
Right.
kitchen.
Yeah.
That was like saying the box over by us.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like
right by Jim's
a
camera.
very clear EVP.
Yeah.
Like it's such a clear EVP. It sounds like a real person there.
It
Mhm.
sounds, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought it was a person.
Yeah.
Right. Nope. There's not
No,
somebody
it's not a
there.
person.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's coming through a radio and it's really tinny. Yeah, so I like touched this. I don't even know, and I like did this. And then,
I can't see what you're doing.
okay, well I like put my hand here. And it felt like this got ripped on my hand right when I did it.
Oh.
And that was at the same time you guys said something like reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold chills back here.
Yeah. No wonder you're getting cold chills.
And you're getting cold chills.
I have cold chills. The guy behind you's like, yeah. Reached out to the box.
I keep getting cold chills back here. Did we hear that in the
Accurate
moment?
reading.
Sure. No.
No, we didn't hear it.
No, it was an EVP.
The box that you see right there is just
Yeah.
us labeling it like for the
Right.
clip. No,
Yeah.
we didn't
So-
hear it.
It's an EVP because
That's
we
crazy.
heard it on the cameras. We didn't hear it in person, and you can hear. I'm over at the table with a different mic. It is not coming out of the Gems box. It's coming from
It's
farther
over,
away because the Gems box right there by by the camera that's picking me up.
Yeah.
So
When you were asking other questions.
Yeah,
I
it
asked
was-
another question. Yeah.
That's the other thing is it was not responding to the questions you were asking. It was responding to us out talking about the box.
Right.
Like we were having two different conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
It was weird. That was it. And so you can't even hardly hear it.
I think you can see and feel in that how creeped out we were there. Like, we were freaked out. Which, I mean...
Well, and it was so crazy that we just went back there and opened the door without someone filming us.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, we have that clip of Mom being like, Jim, should you be filming that? And he's like, oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
It was
just crazy. The way that laundry room door, we never saw it. I mean, we were in the apartment for like 6 hours. We had opened closets. We'd done, you know, EMF meter scans.
Totally
you have one here, I think.
I think something had like a total
block on it.
Yeah, it was very deceptive and like
we had
not
a
letting us
camera
see
set up
the
in front of it. We had set food out on the counter by it. I mean, like
it was.
You
couldn't even get in there. Actually,
at one point,
moving stuff.
Jim had a box from a bunch of technical equipment in front of it. Like it was barriered.
And at one point in the communication session, which is in the episodes, we were asking about like, where should we look? What should we do? And you hear 3 knocks on that closet door, and Mom's standing in the kitchen and hears it and looks. And we're like, oh, what was that? And she's like, oh, I heard a noise over here. Never mind. And we're all just like, we keep going on.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like we thought it must have been
all
from
just, like,
outside the apartment. Or It is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You cannot believe how weird it is. When you go through and look at 9 hours of footage and you're like, how did we not look at that door or investigate that space?
We all just doubted
until
ourselves.
that far in.
Yeah. I mean, that is far in when we finally did that.
Oh my goodness.
It was
every
like 6
time
hours.
there's when we're sitting here, which also I think one of the reasons that the spirits kind of connected more and stuff and we get more is, you know, we were just kind of in that space. I mean, thank you, Jen, for being so incredibly welcoming.
Yeah.
But you know, we
we're
ate.
Like, hi, we're coming in, we're going to eat at your table.
Right, we ate at her table. We took a break there. She took a nap on the couch because she had been up for 24 hours working. And
she worked nights.
Yeah. So we were being quiet and stuff, but it's like we were there as part of the the fabric of the apartment for a little while. Mm-hmm. But the weird thing is, we're sitting at the table. And it's like when we're talking about trying to figure out the direction of where we should be looking, and the EMF meter is spiking, you know, every time on West, we're trying to say, but every time one of us tries to say something that would be indicating that location, something else happens. Mm-hmm. There's a click over here. It gets
the marble move was one of the distractions, and then something like clicked on the teapot, and that distracted us.
Yeah. It's every single time something distracts, so we could not complete the sentence or complete the thought or be like, at one point I'm like, oh yeah, well it's from over there by, I don't know, is that a cupboard or a door or and we've been there for hours. The door. Was so insane.
It was very good.
That might be why we didn't have it on film.
Yeah.
Because we were, I don't know if
the opening part first,
Also interesting, we had to dig for footage to show that laundry room door. Yeah. It is not in pictures in hardly any space.
Other than like in passing, and we had to like literally slow down footage to get like an in passing shot. Yeah. Because we just never saw it, never focused on it.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that the energies there were like trying to block it so that we wouldn't see that was a big part of the problem.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's not on film, which we had cameras set up all over this apartment.
Yeah.
And speaking of Jen taking a nap on the couch, we're gonna go back to something lighter here for a minute. This is the most scared. I was creeped out by the closet, but this is the most scared I was all night long. And it was when Jen woke up from her nap on the couch and stood up in the dark living room, and I didn't know she was there. And she like was behind Jim and startled me. Jesus, Jenny scared me. I'm so sorry. In this corner of my eye, there's a person standing there.
And then you scared me.
A chain of jumps through it. Well, I didn't. That was like a horror movie. Jim scooted to the side and you were behind him.
There's 2 dolmas leaves here. Stuffed rice. Do you want these?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like
there's 2 dolmas.
There's 2 dolmas.
Does it show Jen? I don't.
No, she's right out front.
Well, it's also so dark in there,
and
too.
then me laughing.
She's like right here,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's pretty funny because you were like, because Jim moved out of the way and Jen was standing there, like horror movie style.
Oh, this is also while we were eating.
Yes.
That was the other thing. Like, I think it was so good that we sat there and had dinner, because I think when we like kind of have this casual thing where we sort of let our walls down and are just chatting and doing it, the souls that are there get way more comfortable with us, and they're like, oh, these are normal people too. They're not here to whatever do some sort of weird ghost hunting thing. Like, they're just people here trying to help if they can. And you know, I felt like they kind of just joined us at the table for this dinner, and then they started coming through and telling us what was happening in the apartment, what we had to do in the clearing process. And but so a bunch of our stuff came from that dinner session, which is like not when we were trying to capture evidence.
No, when you can tell there's things all over the table and stuff. And also we were really, kind of, we were a little fatigued by that point. And so I think we were not quick on the uptake from some of this. And I just feel bad because some of the spirits, I think they probably just were like,
they gave us so many answers, and we were like, I don't know.
Yeah, we were in a fog, man. It was just a fog. Yeah.
Okay, the energy in there was heavy.
It was.
I think it was also difficult to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean,
and things were muffled.
Muffled,
yeah.
For it.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that in the episodes where we talk about it. Felt like we were super isolated in this bubble, and everything was just weighing us down, and like we couldn't get ourselves going to start doing like the sweep or the walkthrough. I mean, we were there for like almost 2 hours before we even got into our first sort of investigative thing, and that was strange.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I think this is the first time that you and Alva met, right?
Oh no, you're gonna show it?
I'm gonna show it.
No, you aren't.
Yeah. It's so good.
Wait, this is actually a different one. This is you guys talking about astrology, not the spirit animals.
You
You haven't seen this one. So there's one where we're talking about spirit animals. This is astrology.
It's not the spirit. Is this astrology? Okay.
This is, but it's hilarious. Yeah. But so anyways, this is again a good like team building thing, because you guys had just come together and we needed to like get acquainted with each other.
I mean, this is pretty far along in the evening here.
6 hours in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just mean it was like the first time working together.
Oh,
and so we were
okay,
doing this
okay.
whole case and this was the first time you guys started chatting, and of course the first thing you two spirity people start talking about is astrology.
What else is there to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Oh, by the way, she had Taurus rising.
She did.
Yeah. She's a
Taurus rising.
She's a Pisces with Taurus rising and Moon in Leo. But she had Saturn at the midheaven.
Where was the midheaven?
10th house. Top of your chart.
Oh, the same as mine. Capricorn.
Oh, really? So you've got Saturn at the midheaven?
Oh, my midheaven is in Capricorn.
So you're talking absolute nonsense.
If she had Taurus first house, then her midheaven would be Capricorn too, or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, she had Saturn in Aquarius.
Oh,
But that was in her 10th.
Oh, okay. So her midheaven may have been a little further back.
The dead people here are rolling their eyes.
Along with some of the living people.
They're like, oh my god, really?
I'm drooling.
The things that happen behind the
Unfortunately,
scenes.
that couldn't make it into the episodes.
Yeah. The dead people here are rolling their eyes. Jim.
Well, we still don't really know where her Saturn is. That was a very inconclusive
Were you just like listening to the conversation? Well,
just now, yeah. I'm like, well, where is that? It's still very unclear. We need to look at the chart to get this dialed in.
oh my gosh. All right, so we are so excited for you guys to see these full episodes of what we experienced at Jen's apartment in Vancouver, Washington. It was a case we will never forget. There was phenomenal evidence, which is about 1/3 of what we do, and then there was a home cleansing and clearing guided by spirit that was very profound and healing, and then we got to the soul crossing ceremony and we could feel these giant forces of good come in to assist these souls in the non-physical and getting to the place of light and love. And the energy after that shift was incredible to feel. Jen could feel it, we could feel it. It was a beautiful thing to witness and be a part of. So be sure to tune in and catch those first 2 episodes of the season or series premiere of Remarkable Spirit, The Crossings, and we hope you enjoy the ride.